You lower yourself into the chair, and when it's time to stand again, something feels different. Not pain, just a tiny delay. Your body hesitates, as if waiting for permission. Here's the surprise: that small delay can actually be measured. In just 30 seconds, you can discover how well your body's balance and strength system still works. It's called the 30-second chair stand test, used by clinicians worldwide to gauge lower body function. According to data from the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention CDC 2023 functional fitness norms, older adults who perform fewer than 10 stands in 30 seconds have about twice the risk of future falls and loss of mobility. But this test isn't about numbers or competition. It's about rhythm, the quiet conversation between your brain, hips, and thighs. That's what we're unlocking today. Because once you understand that timing, everything changes. Confidence, movement, even how safe you feel. Standing up. It sneaks up quietly, doesn't it? One morning you rise with ease, the next your legs feel unsure. But what if that hesitation isn't weakness at all? What if it's just a signal traveling too slowly through a system that's forgotten its rhythm? Stay close. We'll learn how to read that signal and wake it up again. Maybe aging isn't losing power. Maybe it's just remembering tempo. Part 2. Reframe.
It's not strength you've lost, it's timing. That's what the 30-second chair stand test quietly reveals.
It's how fast your brain and body still talk to each other. Each rise is a signal: brain to hip, hip to thigh, thigh to floor. And the smoother that chain, the steadier your life feels. Pamela, 67, used to think her legs were weak. Each morning, she'd press on her knees to stand, frustrated at her aging muscles. But when her therapist at a local balance clinic filmed her movement in slow motion, the truth was almost invisible. Her hips were firing half a second late. Not weakness, just lag. Once that signal delay was retrained, her confidence came rushing back faster than her strength ever could. Harvard Health calls this kind of neuromuscular coordination the hidden predictor of independence. In their community aging studies, they found that slower chair stand speed doubles the likelihood of future falls. But when older adults practice stand-to-sit movements daily for just 2 weeks, reaction time and balance improved measurably, even without adding weight or exercise machines. That's what matters. Because what feels like decline is often just a fading rhythm, and rhythm can return. Have you felt that half-second hesitation before standing up?
That's the exact moment we'll retrain together. So before we dive into the body itself,
Remember this: it's not your age that defines your balance. It's the conversation between your brain and your hips, and that conversation is waiting to be heard again. Part 3 story block. It data, meaning. Science has a quiet way of turning worry into clarity. What feels like weakness can often be measured, explained, and improved. At Tufts University's Nutrition and Aging Lab, researchers followed hundreds of adults over 60. They weren't studying athletes, they were studying independence. The results were striking. Every extra chair stand completed in 30 seconds lowered the risk of mobility loss by more than 10% over the next few years. Not because of bigger muscles, but because of better coordination. The Mayo Clinic noticed something similar. The first seconds of a sit-to-stand tell a deeper story than strength alone. They show how fast your nervous system wakes up your balance muscles before your power muscles even join in. That half-second delay you feel before standing, it's visible long before your body even moves. The signal leaves your brain, travels down your spine, and waits for your hips to reply. When that connection is clear, movement feels effortless. When it's blurred by stiffness, fatigue, or fear, the signal scatters. You feel it as hesitation, a flicker between thought and action. Numbers can sound cold, but here they bring comfort. Because data don't judge, they guide. Harvard researchers once called standing up the smallest motion with the greatest meaning. It's the daily rehearsal of independence. Once you wake that rhythm again, your body remembers fast. The evidence only confirms what you already know: you were built to adapt. Part 4. Inside the body, the chain of trust. Inside your body, this simple movement is a masterpiece of coordination. The moment you lean forward, your hips whisper first, they prepare before anything else moves. A fraction later, the quadriceps join, anchoring your knees. Then your core muscles, deep, quiet, often forgotten, tighten just enough to guide you upward. It's a symphony of timing, not strength. Each signal leaves your brain like a pulse of light, travels down the spinal cord, branches into hundreds of tiny nerve pathways. When those signals arrive in rhythm, your body stops guessing. It simply trusts itself again. In the blue lab view, you'd see it clearly: a chain of green light running from your brainstem to your hips, from your hips to your heels. That's the chain of trust. The communication line that keeps you balanced long before your muscles even react. Researchers at Kyoto University's Geriatric Center studied this exact timing. They found that when older adults practiced controlled sit-to-stand drills for just 2 weeks, their neural activation patterns began to synchronize again. Falls decreased, confidence returned, even before measurable muscle gain appeared. Japanese therapists have a phrase for this: suwaru kumo no ugoki. It means the movement of sitting clouds. Soft, effortless, steady. They teach their patients to stand the way clouds rise after rain, not rushed, just sure. When the rhythm returns, movement feels lighter. When trust returns, posture changes on its own. Your body stops protecting and starts participating. Would you rather see this moment as glowing anatomy, or as a gentle side-by-side animation of signal and motion? Tell me below. Your feedback shapes how these stories are brought to life. Part 5. Practical section. Your 30-second reset.
Let's try it together. You don't need equipment, just a steady chair and a bit of space around you.
Sit tall near the edge of the seat. Feet flat on the floor. Arms crossed gently over your chest. Take a calm breath in, and when you're ready, stand up. Then sit back down as many times as you can in 30 seconds. No rush. Find a rhythm, not a race. Breathe out as you rise. Breathe in as you return. That steady breathing keeps your nervous system calm and your balance awake. When 30 seconds pass, pause. Notice how you feel. Did you rely on your hands? Did your knees tremble halfway up? Those are quiet signals. Your body is sharing with you, not scolding, just informing. According to CDC's STEADI Functional Fitness, Norms 2023, if you're between 60 and 64, about 12 to 14 stands is average. Between 65 and 6911 to 13. Between 70 and 74, 10 to 12. And if it's less, that's not failure. It's a starting point. The Tufts University Nutrition and Aging Lab found that even a 5% improvement in chair stand speed can significantly reduce the odds of mobility loss over time. Not because your legs suddenly grew stronger, but because your signal became faster. Now, a gentle micro practice to wake that signal each day. First, the hip rock. Place your hands lightly on your thighs. Shift your weight forward until your toes feel the floor. Then roll gently back. It's the body's quiet rehearsal brain, reminding hip. We move together. Next, the heel pulse. Press your heels into the ground and feel your calves tighten. That's the anchor point your brain uses for balance. Finally, one slow motion stand. Breathe in, push gently through your heels, and rise in 5 seconds, not 1. That slowness rebuilds timing, not muscle mass, but communication. Each time you do it, you're teaching your body to trust again. How many stands did you manage in 30 seconds today? Share it in the comments. Not to compare, but to celebrate every signal that woke up. Pot 6. Return loop, reflection. A few weeks pass. Pamela sits in the same chair by her kitchen window. The same cup of tea, the same morning light. She takes a slow breath, places her feet flat, and rises. No hesitation, no push from her hands. Her movement looks almost ordinary, but it isn't. It's quiet confidence, rehearsed through rhythm. That half-second delay we talked about, gone. Now her hips lead first, her thighs follow, her breath stays calm. The chair doesn't hold her anymore. It greets her. At the Mayo Clinic's Healthy Aging program, specialists call this functional confidence. They've seen it happen again and again. When older adults retrain simple movements like this, fear drops, balance returns, and within just a few weeks, they begin to trust their bodies again. Pamela smiles to herself. Same age, same body, new rhythm. And that's really what this is about, not turning back time, but tuning it.
Your body isn't fighting you, it's waiting for you to listen. So if you do one thing this week,
try your 30-second chair stand again. Not to prove anything, but to feel something. Notice your timing, your breath, your balance. Notice the quiet confidence that returns when your body and brain speak the same language again. Healing doesn't mean doing more. It means listening better. And maybe, just maybe, this small motion rising from a chair is how independence begins again.